Mr. Prime Minister, Madam, Honourable Ministers, Mr. Speaker, Lord Speaker, Honourable Members of Parliament, Members of the House of Lords, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank you, Speaker, for your kind words and greatly appreciate everyone's warm welcome. On behalf of my wife Bridget and myself and my whole delegation, thank you very much for that. And it is a very great honor to speak before the two houses of the British Parliament, a place composed of both a high chamber and a low chamber, a place of history bygone and a history in the making, a place where modern democracy emerged and the principles of democratic representation and consent were born. In making its own rules, your great people has inspired, among the rest of the world, and in particular my compatriots, who regard you with respect, with more than a bit of admiration. In France, Montesquieu and Rousseau drew from the works of Locke to such an extent that the Lettres philosophiques by Rousseau are often referred to as letters on the English in my country. But please, do not misunderstand me. I'm not going so far as to say that England gave birth to the French Revolution. However, I have to confess that we love monarchy, but especially when it's not at home. But I really believe that from the Magna Carta to America's Declaration of Independence in 1776 and France's Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen in 1789, a same pathway emerged towards democratic order and the rule of law. And so many times, this shared path was forged in the brotherhood of arms. So many times it followed the small trails of the Ardennes and the Vosges mountains under the hail of German bullets from 1914 to 1918. So many times it almost veered off course, taken up by our common ancestors, reconquering the Normandy coast inch by inch under the glaring sun of June 1944. And I would like to thank Prime Minister Starmer, dear Keir, for attending the ceremonies of the 11th of November last year, honoring our fallen soldiers, the British Red Poppy alongside the Bleuet de France, becoming the first British head of government to spend Armistice Day in Paris in 80 years. Thank you. The French people shall never forget the sacrifices British people made to protect Europe and the world during the two world wars, and to uphold with fierce determination the promise of our Entente Cordiale. We shall never forget the support of the asylum your forefathers gave to the Free French forces in the fight against the barbarism of the Nazis. Sir Winston Churchill was one of the visionaries who had the foresight to help forge a strong transatlantic alliance and to come up with a peaceful European order in which he deeply believed. He passed this same vision on to us of a world order based on law, justice, and respect for territorial integrity. An order that is today being attacked on a daily basis as we witness direct attacks on our democracies, the return of war to our continent, the resurgence of imperial impulses, and the flouting of international rules by destabilizing powers who are attempting to divide up the world to their advantage. Speaker, you and your predecessors have become famous, I have to say, even in France, for your way of restoring order in the courts with your imperial and imperious exclamations, "Order, order." And today, we wish to join you in shooting out "Order, order" with you to calm the unrest in the world. As permanent members of the United Nations Security Council, deeply committed to multilateralism, the United Kingdom and France must once again show the world that our alliance can make all the difference. Clearly, we have to work together in order to defend an efficient multilateralism and to protect the international order as we forged it after the Second World War. And first, in supporting Ukraine, which has been illegally attacked, by both rallying the support of Europeans and coordinating with the Americans to create the necessary conditions for a robust and solid, lasting peace. I want to commend your country. Since the first day, and even before the first day, you were part of the closest ally of Ukraine, training the army, being here the first day to protect President Zelensky, his government, and allowing the forces just to resist, as you did decades ago with my country. And together we worked very hard during the past few years in order to stand with the Ukrainian people, just helping them to resist.